What is happening, my fellow dudes and dudettes? Because I now understand we've got some dudettes in the mix. Anyway, you're all dudes. You're all my dudes, and I love you. How's it going? Larry Milburn here from Yoga for Dudes with Larry Milburn. Slightly different look today. I'm actually bringing you into the podcast set where I first built the podcast Roadie Free Radio, and where I'm now working on the Guys Talking Yoga podcast with my partner, Mr. Derek Vander Walker. If you have not checked out the Guys Talking Yoga podcast, please do so. I'll leave a link in the description below. We've got some killer guests, man. Derek had the show for about 2 or 3 years prior to my joining him, and we have now worked really hard to take this thing up to the next level and provide some really cool interviews and some great insight, not only into men practicing yoga, but just, yoga in general and some things to think about. So one of those amazing guests, and the point of today's video, is Mr. Rolf Gates, who I'm going to get to in just a second. But in this video right here, this one right here, we are going to break down, what it means to set some goals for the new year for your practice. And this can really be for any kind of a practice. This can be your gym practice. This can be your yoga practice, of course. This can be your social media practice, whatever it is. And a lot of times, obviously, we're in January, February right now as I record this, early 2025. I think a lot of people are fired up. I know I am for this year, and a lot of great things to come and some things to do. And we get excited. We set some goals, and sometimes we're not so good at setting realistic goals. We set a lot of unrealistic goals, and then we lose our inspiration and whatnot, and we start to slip on some things, and then we don't do the thing that we set out to do, and then we feel bad about not doing the thing that we set out to do. So, hey, I'm working here. Take it easy. Anyway, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I've been reading this book, Rolf's book, Meditations from the Mat, which if you don't have this book, this is a great yoga primer that also is a great daily reminder of your practice. Not a daily reminder to do your practice, but just a daily reminder of practice. So these are basically like 365 thoughts, quotes, passages of things to think about, in which he breaks down a lot of yoga theory and whatnot to help you just think about some things throughout the day. So I'm not a super religious person. I think I'm more of a spiritual person. And it's just nice to kind of check in with this book every day if I can. I try to. Or every couple of days, read the next passage, maybe read it twice, think about it throughout the day, and go on. And one of the things that I read, which I've got to get to here because I lost the bookmark that had it, but I think I've got it right here, coming right up. Where'd you go, baby? Come on. Oh my God, look at Larry. He's not perfect. He lost the quote. That's hysterical. Sustaining practices, Oh, you know what? It was day 77. I was looking at page 77. I'm so sorry. Okay, here we go. Listen, here's the deal. We go at our practice, we get super excited, and we're hard on ourselves. And then we start to lose the flame. And in this section of the book, Rolf was talking about consistency and whatnot. And the other thing, I just wanted to tell you really quick about who Rolf Gates is. Rolf Gates is phenomenal. And we actually did an interview with Rolf on the Guys Talking Yoga podcast. You should check it out. Former Army Ranger, former wrestler, like that guy, that power guy, and really then found himself in a whole new light. And he is now the director. He oversees the yoga teacher training program at Kripalu up in the Berkshires in New England, which is a huge honor. And he's got a great following. He wrote this book a while back, and it's really incredible. And he's had some amazing teachers. He has become a teacher for a lot of amazing people. So, all right, that's who he is. That's what it is. But I was reading this book. I got to day 77 in this book. And here's the quote that hit me. Years of consistent practice are not built on rigid self-discipline. They are built on the desire to know more. I'm going to read it again before I break it down. Years of consistent practice are not built on rigid self-discipline. They are built on the desire to know more. Whoa. So you're saying, Rolf, baby, that I don't need to be really hard on myself and have a lot of self-discipline to do my practice. I have to build it on the desire to know more. What does that mean? That means to be curious, right? To show up with some curiosity as part of your passion for your practice and let that drive the consistency of the practice. When you're curious, you're open, you're wondering, right? You've got like a kid's mind and you're looking to see what comes up. What happens if I shift my body in this certain position? What happens if I open my wrists a little bit, open my hands out in downward facing dog? What does that do to my shoulders? What happens if I bend my knees in downward facing dog? Does that help to lengthen my spine? And what does that feel like? And how do I make those subtle shifts? What happens in a difficult situation in life if I don't react right away, but instead I take a breath? All of those things. So I found it really profound, and I really wanted to share it with you as you start thinking about how to design a home practice or how to approach your practice for the year. And we're going to talk in the next couple videos about a few things like that, about how to approach a practice and, your intention versus gratitude. We're going to get into some of that stuff and what can guide you. So I'm going to leave you with the quote again. I hope this made some sense. Here we go. Years of consistent practice are not built on rigid self-discipline. They are built on the desire to know more. So listen, if you want to know more, I suggest you like and subscribe to this video and to this channel. Maybe hit the bell so you get notified when a new video comes out. And hit me up at thedude at yogafordudes.com. If you haven't head over to the website yet, yogafordudes.com, I encourage you to do so. If you sign up for the newsletter, you will get a free PDF download of a 20 pose guide that I put together. And if you're looking for that guide in digital form, you can also find it right here on the YouTube channel where I break down 20 basic poses you're going to find in just about every yoga class that you go to. And you should know how to do these poses basically, and you can string them together in any way that you want. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Please let me know how you've approached your practice here in 2025. And again, that can be a yoga practice. That can be your gym practice. That can be your social media practice, whatever it is. I want to know about what you're doing to work on these things and how you're approaching. And if this quote of using desire as your guide and your building block was helpful for you today. Be safe out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I'll see you down the road, and I'll see you on the mat.